Hi. All right. Review zone. Yeah.
What's the name of this movie?
We just saw 13 Assassins. Yeah.
13 Samurai.
13 Assassins.
Oh, it's Assassins. I was thinking it's the 13 Samurai.
That's because you're thinking of Seven Samurai.
Yeah, I guess so. So this is like a modern Japanese movie, but it's set in the 19th century, right?
That's right. It takes place in the 1840s.
Yeah, it was really brutal, wasn't it?
It was incredibly brutal and incredibly great. It was a great movie. The type of samurai movie I didn't think they could make anymore, but they did it.
I think you could tell they've been influenced by like a lot of really great directors.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, Kurosawa came to mind. I really think people would like to see this if they're strong, because you've got to see some brutal scenes.
It's almost perfect. It's almost a perfect samurai revenge film. The performances were great. The shooting was great. The pacing was great. The music, the general tone. If I have one quibble, I thought there were a couple of comedic scenes that just kind of fell flat. It kind of jarred with the general tone. But besides that, there's nothing really that I can say that's negative about this film.
Yeah, me too. I think it did what it needed to do. It hit the notes,
Yep.
So it's hard to even say much about it if it's so good, just like except to one people like it's really really violent, really bloody.
Yeah, I was just amazed at how they really managed to establish the gravitas of the situation in a very short amount of time, and it didn't feel overdone, even though it was very.
It was extremely.
It was extreme.
Bloody, yeah.
It was extreme. Yeah, I liked how all the actors committed to their material. Like it, I could see how it easily could have struck someone as overacting out of context, but given the brutality of the context and again the success in establishing tone, all the just drooling from the mouth and blood pouring everywhere, and just the extremity of it, it hit the mark. It actually functioned as a visceral depiction that resonated. Yeah, the movie executes very well, just as a really engaging and intense action film, but also there are all these other layers of commentary about the tensions of that particular era and how it was changing right before Japan essentially got invaded by Western culture. And then they managed to work the theme of the Shogun era coming to an end, and it wasn't just inferred, it became integral to the whole plot.
Yeah, and I also like the set design, and the costumes and set design were very good. It was
and the colors.
Yeah, but they were muted, and that worked. But it wasn't like real flashy or anything.
Right. Yeah. All the clothing was kind of these off browns, and then you had these beautiful green forest terrain, and they really complemented each other.
It was good. I'm glad I saw it. I was kind of surprised. I didn't think it would be as good as it was.
Just go see it. I mean, especially if you're the type of person who could deal with a lot of people getting cut up with samurai swords, then you should definitely go see it.
Yeah, and just like one thing I really liked about it is that the villain was really evil. You want an evil villain. You don't want like a halfway evil villain. You want it to be mean and evil, and this guy really was.
He was bad news all around.
Yeah, evil. Like one of the most evil villains I've seen in a long time. Yeah, he had to be stopped. It was like evil politician with a lot of power and a lot of evil, and so.
Are you ready?
Yes. I thought the pacing was great because you built, and you didn't, you knew where it was headed, and it got there, and it did what it had to do, and yet the suspense was maintained.
Every shot, just the slow, steady movement of the camera, just continuously built the tension up until the final humongous
bloodbath.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was to be also Shakespearean in its breath, like there's something very deep and tragically human about the whole story.
Yeah, I also thought that it was interesting how they explored the villain's psyche a little bit. I felt like they could have maybe dealt with it a little bit more, but they already did such a good job. It's unfair to complain about it. But just the idea that someone who had built this whole conception of himself as this a cruel kind of dandy almost, and then finally when he actually experiences pain, it completely flips his whole self-perspective. I thought that was a really interesting way of kind of dealing with how those in power can be so removed that they don't even understand the situation that they're in.
Yeah, they're always willing to put other people into suffering and pain, but they never know what it is.
I thought another thing the movie did brilliantly was it kind of pulled apart the whole conception of battle and war, and you start out with all the rigorous rules and pretensions of what the samurai code is, but then midway through the final battle, it's just devolved into men bashing each other's heads in with rocks, and the camera is all shot from the perspective of the one dying samurai watching his master getting killed, and just the pure brutality that underlies the lifestyle. And it's amazing that they're able to make a satisfying action movie and also at the same time refute such a violent lifestyle and actually accomplish that. Yeah, it's interesting that they come up with a villain that's so brutal that they essentially create a scenario where they can completely show all the types of strategies a samurai could use to fight, from the bulls on fire to the gunpowder explosions and all the rest.
Was it bulls on fire or boars on fire?
They were bulls.
Bulls.
Yep.
Oh, are you sure? They look like boars to me. Anyway, but there's some animals running on fire and as a weapon, and I'd never seen that before.
No, it was a little apparently CGI, but besides that, it was great.
I hope it was CGI.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'll take a little fakeness over the realism of having actual bulls on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Bulls on fire. Oh no.
What else?
I think we covered really the essential thing. It's kind of simple. It's got that kind of Zen simplicity that underlying it. It's not fancy. Yeah, all of it. It was just it was very well done. Has this director done anything else that we may have seen?
No, I don't know. We should have researched it beforehand.
I guess so. Look that up. He definitely bears watching. He's somebody who really understands cinema, I think. Very cinematic director.
Yeah, we should have talked about The Wild Man, too. He was a nice touch. Another way of refuting the whole samurai code by having someone who's not schooled in it at all hold his own against all these warriors.
And he's complaining about the samurais all the time, too, which is funny.
Right, and
he's sort of like
arrogant pretension.
Right, and he's sort of comic relief, but he's also he's a fighter, he survives.
Yep.
How, I don't know.
Yeah, that makes no sense. He's got a sword through his neck.
Yeah, he had a sword through his neck, and yet later on they don't explain why he survived and how.
Why he's not bleeding out all over the place.
Yeah, and I understand the idea that you can impale somebody and miss vital parts, but I don't think you can do that with your throat.
Yeah, I was stretching it a bit, but still.
Oh well.
It still served the story, even though it was a bit of a stretch.
Well, I think the actors were good looking, even though they had a strange... kind of strange hairdos, those bald samurai types, there was a lot of women in the movie, and most of them were terribly victimized, except for one beautiful woman who was waiting for her samurai boyfriend or husband to come back, so that was kind of a nice touch.
Yeah, the leech scene didn't really work for me. That was a little out of sorts.
Yeah.
The wild man's tone was a little... I like the character, but again, it jarred a little bit the way they played with him initially. But I think that was somewhat intentional. I just wish they would have handled that as well as they handled the rest of the film.
But that's just a small criticism.
Exactly.
Compared to the whole thing, there's just nothing really.
Exactly. Everything else was essentially perfect.
We don't get to review many nearly perfect movies. So
that's true.
Yeah, practically
pretty
perfect.
hard to come by.
Yeah, it's a Mary Poppins movie, practically perfect in every way.
It's the Mary Poppins rating.
Yay!
5 umbrellas. 5 umbrellas. Yay!